Hello guys and welcome here to the Carvana Wildcard Series. This is race number 10 here today from the Montreal Circuit Giles Villeneuve Road Course. I'm Brian James up here in the booth. This will kick off our international tour that'll take up the rest of this week. So these guys are going to be racing out of the States for the next, well, counting this race, the next 4 races before we go back to the States and race at North Wilkesboro, and that'll kick off next week. Dan Hummel, he will start from the pole in that number 31, and to his outside will be Mitchell Collins. And Dan Hummel has run very well here in the Carvana Wildcard of late, but it's been all on ovals. He really has not had much success yet on the road courses. Could this one change? Also, Mitchell Collins has not had much success on road courses this season in his title defense as the road course champion. Can he finally break through today? Will we have our 10th different winner this season as well? That is also a big question to be asked, and we will find out in just a moment. But before we do, I also want to address the pit situation. If you've watched the races here in seasons past, you've noticed that this track has a glitch which holds the drivers on the pit lane. I have modified the pit strategy, I've modified fuel lengths, so we should be good. I modified the pit frequency. That's what I meant. Pit frequency. So we should be okay for this race. We might have one stop. I will check before we go to green, and I will let you know as we get going here. So please stay tuned, as we'll be right back with the green flag in just a moment. So I double checked. It says they don't have to pit this race. However, that might not necessarily be true. Because obviously the tires are also a factor here on any road course. So we will just monitor it. If they do, they do. If they don't, I apologize. I tried to make sure they would. But it looks like for now they're not going to pit. At least for fuel, because my garage thing said about 12 laps. So about 10 to 12 laps, that would make it just past the end of this race. But again, we'll monitor it and we will let you know, or you will see for yourselves if they do pit or not. Anyway, pace car will peel off here, and the field is in the hands of Dan Hummel, who again has been cold to start on the road courses, and so has Mitchell Collins. We'll see if these two can get going here on the road courses. The green flag waves. We're underway at Montreal. Mitchell Collins, he's going to try and drive by on that outside, and on the inside he has the advantage, and it looks like he's going to get the lead. But Dan Hummel is not going to go down without a fight. But he's really going to have to hit his marks, and keep in mind this track, oh, you saw the 19 of Matt Dixon get a little sideways off that corner. Yeah, you've seen this, the narrow track, no real room for mistakes. And keep in mind this track, of course, you've seen it, it has been run by the NASCAR Xfinity Series and has had some pretty solid finishes over the years. When the Xfinity Series came up to Canada, And now, of course, Formula One is the occupant at this track. And I believe that is the only occupant. If you're from Canada or you just follow racing a lot more than I do, maybe you can tell me for sure in the comments. But to my knowledge, it's only Formula One that hosts events at this track now. And as you see, we come back towards the start-finish now through the final corners. And Mitchell Collins will lead the opening lap here at Montreal. And of course, we stay in Canada for the next race. This is the easy part of the international series here. I'm sure the Pinty series also runs here, now that I think of it, but I could be wrong. But yeah, of course, we'll stay in Canada because we are going to Mosport, Canadian Tire Motorsports Park, for the next race. And then these guys, well, these cars will likely go to Mexico. The drivers are headed to Japan, where we will race the twin ring Motegi, and it will be the oval track as Casey Naneko just got around Dan Hummel for second. And now Naneko will set his sights on the two. Yeah, so again, they'll pack their bags, they'll head to Japan for the next race. Of course, I think these cars will be shipped to Mexico for the race after that, because they have a very short day ahead of them. Keep in mind, Twin Ring Motegi. Yeah, it's in Motegi, Japan. Keep in mind, they are 13 hours ahead of us. So it's a real-time adjustment for these guys. They'll be racing essentially at 2 in the morning on Friday, flying back just to race on Friday again. Very weird schedule for them this week because they'll head to Mexico, and then when we come back next week, they will run at North Wilkesboro and the two Indianapolis races, the one on the road course and the one on the oval, which the oval race will be a double points event. So as you can tell, not many races from now, because after today it's 6 races to the playoffs. So these guys know time is running out. And you see Casey Naneko is slowly reeling in Mitchell Collins in that number 2. And again, Mitchell Collins just trying to get his season going here. He has had a rough start here in Carvana. And Naneko is right there, coming to 5 laps to go. Can anybody stop Mitchell Collins? You see it's down to 5/10, but he's basically on the bumper of that number 2. And I don't think Mitchell Collins is going to let him by easy. You can tell Naneko's there, but he's just stuck in the dirty air right now. We'll see if he can kind of still reel him in. You see, the 2 gets some better acceleration out of the hairpin there. Down the high-speed portion of the track. We're now past the halfway mark. Of course, if Mitchell Collins leads one more lap, he will have the playoff point. Dan Hummel, he's got to be sitting back there hoping these 2 slip up. And he's 2 seconds back of the leader. Nikolai Sykes is back there too with Tyler Faden. Those 2 have got to be praying for these guys to slip up and make a mistake. Alexander Rowe has also gotten into the top 10. And he's your point leader to my knowledge right now. And the 6 is still there, trying desperately to make a move. He looks inside. He's not going to get it. But he does get a better acceleration out of that corner, so Naneko might have a chance if he could just set it up in the final corners here. We've seen some wild racing in those final corners before. Three to go, and Mitchell Collins has just gotten the playoff point. But can Casey Naneko steal the win? I don't believe Casey Naneko has won anything between his Cup and his Carvana career. Oh, they hit. Mitchell Collins gets pushed. And Casey Naneko will go to the race lead. The bump and run at its finest. And we finally see it here on the Carvana side. And now the 2 knows, or now the 6 knows what the 2 will do to get that position back. He knows that he has now set the precedent for how the rest of this race goes if that 2 catches him. And you could tell Mitchell Collins, he's feverishly looking around, trying to get a run, and they're going to pit. And this, of course, could shake everything up with 2 laps to go this time. Of course, keep in mind they are all good on fuel. So this pit stop will be strictly for tires. And it doesn't look like anybody's going to try to stay out here. You saw the 01 and the 5. It looks like they pitted the lap before. So did Chris Smith. 3 cars are out of the race. Apparently Zach Fitzwater got in an accident. And then the 45 is out, and so is the 7. Oh man, a few guys are being held. And one of them is Mitchell Collins, so today just gets worse. Nikolai Sykes tries to beat the 31 off the pit lane, and the 31 wasn't having it. Just about put Nikolai Sykes in the grass. But Sykes will get second, then Nako will get the lead. Mitchell Collins loses a handful of positions. Here goes Dan Hummel looking inside. I thought they were going to touch there. And they're still side by side battling for second. And Dan Hummel's clearly got the faster car. And we'll see if he's able to clear down the straight, and he will not. This is not really a good passing zone. You see the 31 gets up on the strips, on the rumble strips there, and it really affects the balance of his race car. Down to the hairpin, they're still side by side. Matt Dixon is there looking for the position. I believe this is one of Matt Dixon's best runs of the season. And finally, Dan Hummel will clear for that second spot. Up ahead, though, it's not going to be a race that Dan Hummel might win. Doesn't look like, because Casey Nanako has got himself a mega advantage. As we take the white flag, 1 lap of racing to go for Casey Nanako. Five-second lead. Unless he pits again, which won't happen, there's just no way Dan Hummel has a shot. Nanako goes through the corner here. Keep in mind, I don't think he's ever won in his Carvana Wildcard Series career. He is not. He definitely has not won in his Cup career, to my knowledge. So today could be his first ever. And it's looking very likely. As you'll go down the long straight one last time, it looks like Nikolai Sykes just got second back. So that intense battle will be won by Nikolai Sykes for the second position. As here we go, through the final corners. He won't even be challenged. Casey Nanako, he'll pick up his first career win at Montreal. Congrats to the number 6 team. They get the job done here on the first of 2 races up here in Canada. Of course, tomorrow we will bring you Canadian Tire. Mitchell Collins, he'll come home in 10th after leading the most laps today. Tough break for them. I know they badly wanted that win to get on the right track here. But the day belongs to Casey Nanako. He gets his first career Carvana wildcard win. And he has momentum as we continue our international tour here on the Carvana Wildcard Series circuit. We want to thank you for watching. We're going to show you your results and standings, and we'll see you tomorrow back here from Canada, but at the Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. Until then, goodbye everyone.